all have a part in this. We all have a responsibility. Looking around at all of you, you hard-working Iowa families, you farm families, and teachers and teamsters and cops and cooks, you rock and rollers and holy rollers.
Well, there are plenty of supporters and critics who already believe this weekend's edition of Saturday Night Live has their opening skit all nicely bundled and ready to go, poking fun at the Palin-Trump announcement yesterday. You better believe there are those who believe this is already the straw that will break the back of every Trump opponent and send them scurrying into the night. Loyal viewers of this show already know we don't kiss up to popular opinion, and we seek our own answers to these and other political queries. We do so by bringing forth another edition of the Can't Live Without It or Be Behind the Curve Political Animal. Beginning with D.C. McAllister, senior contributor at the Federalist, joined by Democratic strategist and executive director of the Travis County Democratic Party, J.D. Gins. I want to thank you both for being here. D.C., let me begin with you. Here's the two sides of this. People saying that, look, Sarah Palin's standing in public opinion has fallen since 2008. She doesn't have the pull with the Tea Party and others that she did before. But wait a minute. Here's people saying right now that she is that rock star. She can go out and get the people. She'll pull them in, and that this is a completely unbeatable pairing. Where do you stand?
It's very beatable, and especially if people think about why Donald Trump needs Sarah Palin. If he were a conservative in his own right, he would not need Sarah Palin to be his conservative crutch. And so the people who are supporting Trump right now, who are true conservatives, not just populists, but who are true conservatives and want a return to the Constitution, they need to ask themselves this question: why does he need her? And they need to answer it honestly. It's because he's not a conservative.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate. Devil's advocate, D.C., if you are correct and there needs to be a true conservative in the White House, why is it then that the polls tell us that the majority of people who are responding want Donald Trump in the White House? They don't give a damn if he's a true conservative.
That's part of the group. And there's definitely populists who are supporting Trump who want just a populist in the White House, who just want change. They want America to be represented. They're nationalistic. But there are people supporting Trump who are conservatives. You just looked at Trump's actions. He believes that. That's why he went to Liberty University. That's why he has Sarah Palin. That's why he talks about 2 Corinthians. I mean, he wants to grab those conservatives, and he sees them slipping away to Cruz. And he doesn't want Cruz to gain on him. And so he's pulling to that conservative base that is supportive of him to a degree. He needs them to win this nomination. They're not all of his support, but he needs them. And if you are conservative and you want a conservative, Trump is not your man. If he were a conservative, he would not need Sarah Palin.
All right, now stand by just a second here. J.D., I got one coming at you here, but first we're going to play a soundbite here. Jeb Bush was on Newsmax Prime last night, and he took it right at Donald Trump. He basically started the name-calling about conservatism here. Here's what he said.
He's a junkyard dog, that's for sure. I seem to be the target of most of his attacks. I don't know why he's so worried about me. Maybe he thinks that I'm a real threat to him, because I am. I'm the only guy that has taken him on. I think Mark and Rush are right that he is not a committed conservative. There's nothing in his record that suggests to me that he's a conservative.
Talking about Mark Levin and Rush Limbaugh on that. All right, J.D. The left's got its own problems that we're going to talk about here in just a moment. But with regard to Sarah Palin, what Jeb Bush said, the name-calling that's out there, the true conservatism, what do you expect the left to do? What should the left, whether it's Bernie Sanders, Martin O'Malley, or Hillary Clinton, be doing right now to attack away?
I don't think we have to do a lot. I think the Republican Party is in a slow-motion implosion right in front of the entire American people. When people are debating who's more conservative and whether Donald Trump is a conservative or not, I tend to agree with D.C. He's not really, but I don't agree that he needs Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin just went out there. Now, ask yourself, did Sarah Palin help the last person she ran with become president? Is John McCain president? No. So I don't think that Sarah Palin actually helps at all. I think Sarah Palin just contributes to the circus that is the Republican primary right now.
Oh,
now,
J.D. J.D. I got to stop you one sec because
that Donald Trump actually cares, but Donald Trump is just a bully and has just enjoyed beating up on him.
Oh, boy, I got to stop you, though, here, partner, because you're talking about this slow, destructive path that the GOP is on. Well, let's talk about your side here for a moment, shall we? Bernie Sanders is crushing Hillary Clinton in New Hampshire, and now you've got people, even on the Democratic side, J.D., who are starting to hint that, hey, this guy Bernie Sanders, he might be a communist instead of a socialist. J.D., you got bigger problems than worrying about Donald Trump right now.
I don't think so, actually. I'm one of those people that looks at all the people donating small dollars to Bernie Sanders and thinks that's good. The last person that vanquished Hillary Clinton became the president. If Bernie Sanders can vanquish Hillary Clinton, then he's going to be very formidable. And if right now the Republican Party just wants to put forward Donald Trump, then all bets are off. Right now we're in a new, unique cycle. And so I don't see it as a big deal. And in fact, I think as more and more people do the Google search of what is socialism and they learn about universal health care as a right, I think people like that idea. People like the idea of removing their premiums and just paying a little more up to the government to provide health care. So I actually don't see it as a big deal. I do think that
Okay. Very nicely done. Very nicely done. We bow to your political correctness there, because I got a feeling that, D.C., I only got about 45 seconds left here. Those people who are talking about Bernie being a communist, is that an attack point for the Republicans?
It is. I mean, but JD's right. There is a group of people in America who are leaning towards socialism. But the real problem is, what is Hillary Clinton going to do about Bernie Sanders? Not what the Republicans going to do. That's not our concern yet. But it's Hillary Clinton who has a Bernie Sanders problem to a degree. He's taking away younger voters and minority women away from Hillary Clinton. And they were big for Obama. That was a huge voting bloc, and she needs them back. And that's why she's gravitating more to embracing the Obama legacy, which she was trying to distance herself from.
JD, real quick. 5 seconds.
Well,
You're still
Obama
sticking with Hillary, though, right? You're still sticking with Hillary.
No, I'm actually undecided. Have not leaned Bernie, but I really think that it's important for the Democratic Party to have a vigorous debate. I think if you look at our debates,
well, there's another story there that we don't have time to get to, and that's CNN sneaking in a town hall when Hillary needs it most. Ooh, we discussed that earlier in the show.
On the Democratic side.
JD Gins, DC McAllister, thanks so much for joining us. Now, we're really seeing the birth of a new form of conservatism next on The Hard Line.